This is a review of the Wolf Rocks hiking trail in southwest Pennsylvania. First, getting there. The trailhead is marked clearly on most maps. While the roads are gravel, they're well maintained and there's decent signage. However, it is a bit off the beaten path, so if you're not familiar with the area, you're going to want some sort of driving navigation to find your way through the maze of country roads. No fees are required for entering the park area or for parking. The parking area is large and well maintained. I've never seen it fill up. There are also restrooms and a picnic area right next to the parking area. Overall, I give the trailhead an 8 out of 10. Most people should have no trouble finding it. Who is the trail appropriate for? The initial impression of the trail is a bit deceptive, as the section visible from the parking area is more improved than most of the trail. The trail is mostly pretty manageable, although it is a bit more challenging than the crust limestone you see on rail trails. There are a number of tricky rock garden sections, and a few places that can be swampy, depending on the weather. The trail should be manageable for most hikers, but less experienced hikers may want to skip it in favor of something less likely to result in a twisted ankle. The trail is easy to follow and intersections are well marked with signs. It would be pretty difficult to get lost. Overall, I give this trail a technical score of 3 out of 10, meaning it's appropriate for all but the least experienced hikers. How difficult is this trail? Here I try to communicate how much this trail is going to raise your heart rate, independently of how technical it is. The trail is an out and back totaling about 4¼ miles, with less than 300 feet of elevation gain along the entire out and back. In more subjective terms, this is a mostly flat trail with some rolling hills along the way. Experienced hikers will find it leisurely, and even inexperienced hikers will likely find the effort level pretty low. I give it a 3 out of 10, meaning that most people will need to trail run it or to carry a heavy backpacker if they want to elevate their heart rate. How interesting is this trail? This is a destination hike, and there's not much to see between the trailhead and the overlook. Of course, there's always a chance of spotting wildlife, and there are plenty of plants and trees. But aside from that, there are only a few small rock formations along the way. The big payoff is the Wolf Rocks overlook itself, which overlooks the valley above Lynn Run. In my opinion, the view is well worth the time invested, but it's important to note that it pales in comparison to larger mountain regions such as the Rockies. If you're nearby, however, the view is quite impressive and easily worth a day trip. Overall, I rate the interest level a 3 out of 10 on a worldwide scale, but a 6 out of 10 compared to other hikes in the area. A point of interest, I've been visiting this hike occasionally for many years, and in the last few the trees have gotten large enough to partially obscure the view. I don't know if the Park Service has any intention of trimming the trees back to preserve the view, but you may want to visit this overlook while there's still something to see. If you're making any sort of drive to do this hike, you'll be wondering what else you can do once your 2-hour Wolf Rock hike is complete. If your feet aren't tired yet, there are a number of other interesting hikes in the immediate area, and I'll try to cover them in future videos. Nearby Lynn Run Park is a beautiful place to have a picnic. If you prefer to eat at a restaurant, the nearest choices are about 25 minutes by car in either Ligonier, Donegal, or Somerset. Restaurants in these areas are accustomed to tourists visiting the region for outdoor activities. The town of Ligonier is also historic and has attractions such as Fort Ligonier that may be of interest to some. This hike is also close to 3 ski resorts and multiple cross-country skiing areas, so if you'd like to combine a winter hike with some skiing, that's always an option. As far as finding something else to do in addition to your hike, this region rates 8 out of 10 with lots of options. Overall, the Wolf Rocks Trail is accessible to all but the most inexperienced hikers, and has a nice view at the end to make it worthwhile. The region is a popular destination for outdoor activities, and is a great choice for a weekend getaway or a day trip if you're in Pittsburgh or somewhere else close. However, it's not quite impressive enough to justify jumping on a plane. If you're in the region, you'll want to check it out.